What is up, guys? I am back from the NAWCQ where I played some Fiendsmith Snake Eyes. I did okay with all things considered, considering how little I practiced, which was not very much. Made it to last round of day one, but lost to Anti-Spell in game three. It is what it is. That's just this format. That's what happens when you put Degenerate Floodgates to one instead of banning them. I never drew Anti-Spell a single time, but I lost to it in the last round. Yeah, this format's pretty horrible. While I would say the Snake Eye Fiendsmith deck it's actually fun to play because you can do so much. It feels like just extremely powerful compared to really any deck that we've had since Shizu tier. That nothing else is really on the same level, so I don't think it's worth playing anything else at the moment. But I guess we'll see where things go after the ban list, which is supposedly going to be at the end of August. So here's going to be my predictions on them. I assume this list is going to happen after YCS Sacramento, or at least it will be in effect after the YCS. My prediction is they might actually just drop the ban list during the event, like they did during SAC format, and cause people to panic and run around and try to sell things off. But yeah, there's no way they're going to hit Fiendsmith directly, I don't think. There's just too much money from the info set for them to actually directly hit the cards. But without further ado, let's go into what I think are actually some realistic hits. So, forbidden cards, Skill Drain. Skill Drain absolutely has to go. I made the mistake of not playing this card at the YCS, but played it at a case tournament and locals right after, and I won every single game that I drew it. The synergy with Snake Eyes is so disgusting. It's not even funny. You can just out your own Floodgate with just Snake Eye Ash. You can out it with Witch. So really only your opponent is affected by it. It's nice to have against decks like Tenpai as well. They can't really do anything when you have Skill Drain up. But it's also annoying when you play against Runic decks, because they'll flip Skill Drain and they'll have other things like Synchro Zone to protect you from attacking them. So you can't really do anything when this card is up. I don't know why it was ever unbanned in the first place, let alone why they put it to 3 after that, but this card needs to go. It's too good in too many decks, too much synergy with Snake Eyes, and it's just a degenerate card and stun as well. Similarly, Anti-Spell, I hate this card with a burning passion. It never showed up in my hand, but my opponent had to see it at the last round of day one. Regardless, there's no way this card should be at 1. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they were thinking. It doesn't fix the problem with it. It just makes it more sacky. It's just another degenerate auto-win card. Needs to go. And similarly, I would put Rivalry and Gozen in the same spot. Even though Gozen is not very popular right now, it will have its time. I'm sure it'll come back at some point in the future, but Rivalry is seeing play in Tenpai and other stun decks, so yeah, it just makes the game not fun, non-interactive. Speaking of not fun and interactive cards, Dimension Shifter. I've had enough of Tenpai and Ritual Beast players just scamming wins by dropping this card. They don't have to do anything, they just activate this when I'm going first, and I'm like, okay, I just pass because I can't do anything. Or I can just set up like IP with the Divine Temple. But that's just with Snake Eyes. Imagine with like rogue decks that don't have as strong of engines, they really can't do anything. And so you just pass turn and then get OTK'd. Not cool. Gotta go. But don't think I'm biased towards Snake Eyes because Flamberge has gotta go as well. Yeah, I think we've had enough of Fire. It's been dominating throughout this entire year. It's time for Konami to actually directly hit the deck. I think banning Flamberge is definitely the right decision here. It hurts every single combo line. It hurts follow-up. It hurts going second. It majorly hurts going first as well. Flamberge is just an insanely broken card. That's like both a form of removal. It can summon a body, and then it can summon 2 bodies when it's sent to grave for some reason. It does too much. I'm not opposed to other hits to the deck as well. Like, you could put Ash to 1, but I mean, we have 3 Bonfire already, and you have this Azamina engine coming out later this year, so I don't think the consistency is going to be a real issue for the deck. So I think you actually have to hit the power of the deck by banning Flamberge, maybe Princess, but other decks could potentially use that, so I wouldn't say that we should necessarily ban Princess at this time. Another hit to Snake Eyes. Appaloosa, I mean, a lot of people have been calling for this card to be banned. Having 3 to 4 negates, or 2 to 4 negates on one card is extremely oppressive. You can't always run over it in battle either, because they might have it with Nightmare Phoenix. When it's co-linked, it can't be destroyed by battle. And they can have numerous other ways to protect Appo from being destroyed. And even if you do hit over it, you have to waste your battle phase just to be able to play in main phase 2. It does too much. Just too much. And Beatrice has been an issue for quite a while, but especially now with the Fiendsmith engine, every deck can just slam Beatrice in, send Angel of Blue Tears or some other form of nonsense, or just get to their combo by sending the Samsara D Lotus or whatever combo piece you need. It does too much. If people play Wave Hiking Caesar, I mean, the card is a lot more balanced. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For other forbidden cards, I don't know why this was unbanned in the first place. Arch Nemesis Protoss. I did lose a round to this as well at the NAWCQ. I did almost win, but Protoss Calling Fire was a little bit rough. Yeah, it's just again, a going first auto win card. Look, those Ritual Beast players, they can have Colossus, that's fine. But Protoss is too much, especially when they have like Shifter. He hit me with Shifter plus Protoss, by the way, and the full Ritual Beast combo. And I almost still won because I top deck Lightning Storm, but not quite enough to beat it. Sanctifier, yep, we've seen people still topping with Branded. This card is the problem. In Master Duel, they recently banned Gimmick Puppet and Yugioh, the Supreme Magical Force, I think, but that's just stupid. They're just hitting. There's so many different targets that they can have for Sanctifier. Sure, not all of them are as good as Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, but they're still annoying. Things like Ra's Disciple, and I think we should actually hit the problem card. You know, the guy who can summon stuff to your field and also can't be targeted by card effects and also can't be super polyed. Yeah, let's just ban Sanctifier and get it over with. And similarly, Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend King Calamity. While Centurion is not like the best deck out there, it's not even top 5 probably, they're still giving it more support for some reason, and it's just more consistent ways to get to this FTK of King Calamity, and this card should just go. So let's go on to Limited. Runic needs to be hit. Okay, let's be real. This deck has survived for way too long. Not just stun, but also you have like White Woods, and you have just other types of Runic variants. It just gives you too much card draw, too much removal, and just way too much advantage for one engine. So I say we limit Fountain, Tip, and Slumber. Slumber is especially annoying in stun because it's just like a free way to just banish 3 cards each turn from the top of your deck. The thing with the other runic spells like Flashing Fire, Destruction, and Freezing Curses, they require you to actually do something and play into it, so you can actually kind of play around those. But Slumber, you can't do anything about it. They just summon Hugin or anything, and then they just keep banishing cards from you. So I say we put Slumber to 1 as well. And I think these, in combination with banning Skill Drain, goes in Rivalry, will make the deck a lot more manageable. I played against Runic Stun twice at the, not at the NAWCQ, but at this case tournament. I ended up getting top 8, but I lost both times to Runic Stun because I lost the die roll, and I got hit by Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell on Cosmic Cyclone 3 times. 3 times. Which says it negates your Cosmic and you can't activate Cosmic for the rest of the duel. So, and he was sitting on like Skill Drain plus Synchro Zone or something. And there's just no way you can win. Like, and I can't side reasonably for Runic Stun when I'm expecting to play against mostly Snake Eyes and Yubel and other just not stun decks. Yeah, for generic, actually let's first talk about Sanguine Summoning. I think banning Shifter is a good way to hit Tempai. It's not the best, but it is definitely one way that they can scam wins when you're going first. Like, that's what I'm most afraid of. When I'm going first, they either have Charmy or Shifter to worry about. If they have Charmy, at least I can try to set up a board. But if they have Shifter, I can't really do anything. I just have to pray that they can't OTK me. So put Sanguine Summoning to 1. just makes the deck a lot harder to interact with, like pretty much impossible with a lot of hands. When they have summoning plus engine, you just can't really do anything. Your Veiler and Imperm and especially your Nib is just not going to do anything against the Tenpai strategy when they have this up. So yeah, I would put that to 1. I think if you also ban Shifter and I guess Rivalry, then that should keep the deck a lot more in check and a lot easier to beat. I can just make Fucho pass or something if I need to, and I just won't die. If we do all of the other things that I suggested, I'm okay with putting Cross out to 1 because it is very much a problem when you're playing against FTK decks like Gimmick Puppet or Branded, or even just in the Snake Eye Mirror. Like when you get cross outed on any hand trap, it just feels bad, man. Because like I'm not even playing Yu-Gi-Oh, we're just comparing hands, and you saw the cross out. Oh, you're so skilled, bro. So yeah, I would put it to 1. And same with Pot of Prosperity and Desires. Another hit to Tenpai, but also just Desires is also a hit to stun. These cards just are extremely powerful. They seem to always be under most people's radars, but I've been calling for especially Prosperity to be limited for a while. So I think we should do that. And then I think we put Spirit of Yubel and Phantom of Yubel to 1. We should hit Yubel directly. I don't think anything more is needed for hitting Yubel at this point. Because Spirit, if they go through 1, it's not once per turn, the floating effect. So if they keep destroying them, it can pile up their advantage really quickly. But as long as they go through it, you know they won't have another one in hand to just summon on your battle phase, and then you just can't out it, and then you just lose next turn. That's like the worst feeling, by the way, when you're playing against Yubel. That's always what you're most worried about. It's like, oh, look, I have game, but if they have Spirit of Yubel, I don't know what I'm going to do, like, in their hand. Plus Nightmare Pain, like, it's extremely annoying to deal with. So I'd put it to 1, and then I would also put Phantom of Yubel to 1. This card is actually insanely broken in the deck. I almost want to ban it, but maybe we should give them, maybe we should keep them 1 so the deck is still like playable. Just like a free monster negate, if you played against Yubel, sometimes they will just start their turn off by just summoning this by just shuffling 2 guys from their hand, and then you're like, oh great, my 1 Ash Blossom is useless now, or my Nib is just useless. But at least if they do 1, they can't just summon it for follow-up on turn 3 and then start comboing. Like it's the fact that it's a negate and it gets back their resources is a bit bonkers. But I think with 1 it should be fine. So both of these to 1. And with all of the other hits in mind, I think this should be a decent start to a ban list. It's not going to solve the format or anything, but we'll definitely bring the power level of all of the major top decks down. And I hope to see something like this after YCS Sacramento, which will definitely be dominated by Fiendsmith engines, Snake Eyes, and Yubel, and then there's going to be some Tenpai in there as well, maybe some Ritual Beast as well. But yeah, that's all I got for this ban list prediction. I think it's pretty reasonable, and I'm always right. Thanks for watching. Peace.